Cosmetic surgeries are fast becoming a booming business around the world, including Nigeria, as more and more women are electing to make these quick fixes to their looks and appearances. What are the benefits of cosmetic surgeries and are there side effects? Find out in our next report. Cosmetic plastic surgery is a medical procedure concerned with the maintenance, restoration, and enhancement of one's physical appearance. One of such procedures is the liposuction, which removes fat from the body, mostly the hips, thighs, buttocks, and arms, to improve their shape. Cosmetic surgeries have become a booming business and a trend around the world, including Nigeria, as more and more women are undergoing the procedure. While some women think plastic surgery should be completely discouraged except for medical reasons, others think people should be allowed to make choices about their body provided they have the resources.
Plastic surgery of any kind, except for medical reasons, should be totally discouraged. I think that it's something that unfortunately is becoming a trend, and for pure aesthetic reasons, and a lot of people unfortunately are dying from it, because in the desperation to have breast enlargement, to have your buttocks bigger, or to have even your breasts even smaller, because some people are actually going to do the opposite.
I really think that it boils down to individual choices and people's access to resources. A woman generally wants to look beautiful. Even in her 70s, 80s, 90s, she still wants to look gorgeous. And I believe that the plastic surgeons, the knowledge they have is from God. So any woman that wants to look gorgeous, as long as it doesn't destroy her body, as long as it doesn't dramatically change the way God has created her, I think if she wants to firm up her parts of her body so that she appreciates herself more, and especially if her partner is okay with it. I personally don't see anything wrong with it. Let them feel good and do what makes them feel happy.
They go to quacks. They go to people who are not qualified, and then they become worse than when they went in, and a lot of them are disfigured. So even if you don't die, you could be disfigured. Your breasts are totally not what it is that you wanted. Your buttocks get infected, and then you have to live with that for the rest of your life. So it's something that I would say has to be totally discouraged. If it's not for medical reasons, we shouldn't encourage it.
In our everyday life, we do some kinds of enhancement. For instance, right now I'm using foundation and brown powder, and I feel good. I think I look better than I would have looked if I had just woken up from sleep. And I just feel good about it. I feel I'm photogenic and I feel confident speaking to you now. So I think people should just be themselves. There's so much problem in the world that people should just be left to be themselves while we just mind our businesses and just live our lives.
Dr. Femi Oladeji is a consultant plastic aesthetic and constructive surgeon. He says, though like other surgical procedures, plastic surgeries may present some side effects, the procedure is quite safe when carried out by specially trained and qualified cosmetic surgeons.
When you transfer fat, do you understand, to the bone, and then just like the person wanted, you achieved it, and the person is good. You understand? You lay the fat, luckily, the fat has survived. And later on, the person go about other aspects of life, you understand? Their way of life did not change or change, and then probably the fat will transfer. Now grew why it will not transform to be anything bad, because the person keeps growing fatter, in quote. The bone also grew fatter. Are you going to blame the surgeon? It's not the surgeon. You understand? Take for example, some of the models people see and like, they are disciplined. When they do what they should do, they follow instructions. They follow advice. Don't do this, they don't. You understand? On their own, they go extra mile. So for me, If the person's surgery, the one you were citing example, if it was successful at that time, she was okay. Months pass, years pass, and probably she now grew fat, and then the bone also grew fat. She had grown fat. If she never did surgery, her bone would have still grown fat.
Okay, so that means that even after surgery, there are other instructions.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Lifestyle or
Definitely.
eating habit. Or
Definitely,
something.
definitely. Otherwise, what you gained because you've had surgery, you lose. Because those things affect it in a way.
This is a typical theater where cosmetic plastic surgeries are performed in Nigeria. Some correctional, some aesthetic. And from what the plastic surgeon here told me, the procedures are quite safe and they boost the confidence of the patients. All right, doctor. In other words, there are some health benefits in plastic surgery, either aesthetic or correctional.
I love that question because there is virtually no medical, like you said too, no medical service or treatment that doesn't have their untoward effects, especially if things are not done right. All right. Now, every surgery also have their complications. Some of them are literally acceptable. You understand? And then some of are not common. They are not common complications, but they are still complications. You understand? So maybe in a layman's term, you will call it risk or side effects, but rather say they are complications. You understand? So, and there are virtually every, even treatment in which you give medications or injections. All right? There are, but it does not mean because there are, everybody experiences them. Of course, if you have the knowledge of how to offer such, you are supposed to also have the knowledge that such can happen, and therefore do all that is necessary to prevent them. Whereas some, despite all that can be done, you understand, they can literally not be prevented. They are just part of the process. Take for example, every surgery you lose blood. All right? So now the blood loss may just be very, very, very minute that it's not even significant or noticeable. Whereas some surgery, you lose so much blood, and therefore they need to get a lot of blood available before the surgery can even be started. All right? It does not mean the surgeon will now deliberately ensure that you are losing blood.
To Dr. Oladeji, plastic cosmetic surgeries no doubt enhances women's beauty, as most patients appear generally satisfied with the outcome of the procedure.
It's not just about the way you look, but the eventual journey to happiness and you getting to the destination called happiness. So that is very key. Now, by the time somebody is no longer very confident because of circumstances, maybe I'll use the breast as an example. I don't know whether you've noticed people who have so it massive and disturbing. You understand? Or somebody who feels while they are growing up, things have started changing. The way they are happy seeing themselves in the mirror, or the way maybe somebody compliment them, even though the part that somebody doing something about, saying something about them may not be as important, but the way they feel about their own look, you understand? The way they accept their own look may have changed. You understand? Somebody who probably before, everything is smart, shapy, and all those things, and then with time, things are beginning to fall, and one thing or the other falls for the person's own perspective. She's beginning to lose what she would have called that pride or confidence.
To many, however, beyond safety concerns of cosmetic surgery, the environmental issues created by such procedures, such as healthcare-related emissions from the energy used for heating, anesthetic gases, and wastes from single-use surgical devices, should also be a matter of concern.